Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joshua Campbell Torrance. I'm the executive director here at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum in beautiful Old Wethersfield, Connecticut. Today, for History at 3, we thought we'd show you and talk to you about what we collect here and a most recent acquisition that we have made that has actually been donated to us here at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum. I'm actually talking to you today from our curatorial offices at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum. And I'm, of course, excited to be here with our curator, the one and only, Rich Malley. Rich, hello there, fine sir. And
How do? All right.
tell us about our most recent acquisition.
Absolutely, and this is in fact our most recent acquisition. It's a schoolgirl needlework, and people are more familiar with what we would call samplers, which are marking samplers that would typically have a alphabet, the numbers, perhaps a phrase from the Bible stitched on. This is a different type of needlework. This is called a family register, and it is in fact, in a sense, a genealogy stitched by a schoolgirl. This particular piece was made by a young woman named Laura Mitchell, who lived in Glastonbury, just across the river from us. And she recounted her family's history, beginning with her parents' birthdays, their marriage date, a list of the children from that marriage, and unfortunately, here in this area, she noted that there were two of her siblings who died young. Phoebe and Bennett Mitchell. We've done some of our own research on Laura Mitchell because we wanted to see, what happened to her after she made this particular family register. And sadly, but unfortunately not surprisingly, she actually died young herself. She died a mere 4 years after producing this beautiful piece of needlework. So we're delighted to have this because it does show, again, it's another example of the type of schoolgirl education and the needlework arts that were taught to young women in the early 19th century. But unfortunately, we don't have a long, history for Laura, much beyond the time that she did this particular piece.
Now, Rich, how much, talk to us a little bit about our collecting here at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum and how much we do collect and sort of our parameters.
Right. We don't collect widely as perhaps an art museum might. We try to focus on the stories that we can tell here, occupants of the houses, their contemporaries in the region. So we won't be collecting far afield geographically, let's say, but we do collect temporally from the 17th really into the 20th century.
And it's really exciting. Of course, we have a fairly large collection, but we're going to be gaining a even much larger collection. Technically, I guess we own a larger collection, but it'll be coming back to us. And maybe a future History at 3, but give us a sneak peek of what that's all about.
Well, over the past 4 years, has been actually fairly intensive archaeological work being done on the site as a result of the planned construction of the new building in which we're now standing. And the artifacts that were recovered from these various digs have been processed, they're being conserved, they're being organized and cataloged by the archaeologists, and they will be coming to us in the not too distant future, which will increase dramatically our ability to interpret the different families who lived here from the 17th century into the 20th century. So it's really exciting stuff.
And we'll have then a collection that is approaching nearly 200,000 artifacts. And just since we're right here, why don't you open door number 2, and we'll give folks a quick sneak peek of the yet to be completed collection storage. So any of you who wonder how museums store their objects, I can't really show you that, but I can show you what it looks like before we put objects in here. And this will be our special climate controlled space. You can see some of the construction things are still being finished up, but this will be a room for our collection storage. Rich and I are pretty excited. We've applied for a NEH grant, National Endowment for the Humanities, to put specialized compact storage units in here. So believe it or not, this space will fit with the new archaeological plus our collections over 200,000 objects. Would that be accurate?
It'd be well over 200,000.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of them are small, thank goodness, but they all tell stories.
Yeah. So there you go. It's exciting times here at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum. New objects being added to our collection, both things that have been donated to us, but then things that we have literally found in the ground as an incredible archaeological dig. And I've been told it's one of the most significant archaeological finds in Connecticut, perhaps one of the most significant in the United States of the last 20 years. So that's what we've got today for you. History at 3 at the Webb Dean Stevens Museum. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait, of course, to have you here in person to see these spaces and to experience all that we have to offer. In the meantime, great lectures coming up this week. This Thursday, the 18th of February, George Washington Through the Photographer's Eye with Walter Smalling Jr. And then next week, Lives Bound Together with Susan Schaller, who's the curator at Mount Vernon. So join us. Great things happening. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.